Well, dear students, let us discuss classification of arthropoda. As you might remember that arthropoda is a very large group. Because it is a very large group, so it is a very heterogeneous group. That means it is having animals or the organisms from very uh, diversified type of the morphology. Now, because of its heterogeneity, having variety of animals, its evolutionary history, that is phylogeny, is also very divergent. And because of its divergent phylogeny, there is no definite system of classification. The classification that we are going to follow is basically the combination of classifications of many scientists. It is based upon the fact that so that all the organism must get covered. So it is not given by the single scientist only or the single group of scientists only. It different groups of scientists have grouped this phylum Arthropoda into different classification, but this is the combination of what we are going to deal with. Uh, Generally, we have the five classes of the phylum Arthropoda: Crustacea, Myriapoda, Insecta, Arachnida, and Onychophora. Class Crustacea. Crustacea means all those organisms of the phylum Arthropoda which are having hard shell on their body. They are included under the class Crustacea. So you might have seen the prawn. That's a typical feature of Crustacea. Uh, they are mainly aquatic, generally marine, few freshwater, few live in moist places. But you think that they always need a water. They are not truly terrestrial animals. Body covered by chitinous or hard cuticle, divisible into anterior cephalothorax and posterior abdomen. So body is divisible into anterior cephalothorax. Cephalothorax means having a common covering outside, chitinous covering outside, or the cuticle covering outside, covering the head as well as the thorax regions. Each segment of the body bears a pair of appendage. Now in crustacea, every segment of body, abdomen as well as thorax as well as head, bears a pair of appendage. Excretion is through modified coelomoduct called maxillary gland or antennary gland. So you might have remembered the coelomoduct are the Malpighian tubules that we have discussed during the salient features of the phylum Arthropoda. Slightly modified coelomoduct called maxillary glands or antennary glands are present in class Crustacea. Class Crustacea is again divided into seven subclasses: the Brachiopoda, Ostracoda, Mystacocarida, Copypoda, Branchiura, Cirripeda, Malacostraca. Let us discuss first subclass Branchiopoda of class Crustacea. So Brachiopoda are those organisms where appendages are absent on the abdomen. Abdomen don't have any types of appendages. These organisms are commonly called gill-footed shrimps, as appendages serve purpose of respiration. Why called gill-footed shrimps? Because the appendages serve the purpose of respiration. So you can say that the appendages bear the gills on them. Example are Apus. This is the picture of Apus, Branchippus, Daphnia, etc. Subclass Ostracoda of class Crustacea. They are commonly called seed shrimps because of their appearance like a seed. As trunk is greatly reduced and entire body is enclosed in a bivalve carapace. Because Outermost, there is a bivalve carapace or the shell in which the body is enclosed. So it looks like the appearance of a seed. Example is cypress, polypes, etc. Subclass Mystracocarida. They are small-sized crustaceans without abdominal appendages except stylets. They do not have the abdominal appendages, but the stylets are present at the posterior most end. Known from only three species in one genus. So this class is known is having only one genus with three species. The genus is called Deri, Derochellicores. Now, subclass Copypoda. Subclass Copypoda have they are the small crustaceans without carapace. They don't have carapace on the body and abdominal appendages except stylets. Neither they have the abdominal appendages nor they have the carapace on the body, but they have the stylets. They are planktonic. Planktonic means they flow along with the water, the drift of the water. Example is Diaptomos, Cyclops, Mostrilla, etc. Fifth subclass is Branchiura. They are the small parasitic crustaceans present on the skin or gills of the fish, so-called fish lice. Example, Argulus, Dolopes, etc. Then sixth subclass is Cirripede or the barnacles they are commonly called. The only group of crustaceans apart from parasitic groups in which the adult are wholly sessile. So parasitic are sessile, rest all subclasses were having the organism which move from one place to other, but they are sessile, they remain attached with the substratum. Example is Lepus, Belanus, Protolepus, Seculina, etc. The previous subclass, the subclass Branchiura, were also having the sessile organism, but they were parasitic. No, they are not parasitic, but they remain attached with the substratum. Seventh subclass is Malacostraca. It includes 75% of known crustaceans. So this is the largest subclass of the class Crustacea and includes shrimps, crabs, lobsters with a well-developed carapace. They have well-developed carapace on the body. For example is Mysis, Hemimysis, Sequila, Paleomon, Eupagrus, Cancer. All these are the examples of subclass Malacostraca. Then coming to the second class, first class was Crustacea, second is Myriapoda. Myriapoda means having 10,000 feet, but this is just a name. That doesn't mean that they have the 10,000 feet, though uh, the name is based upon the fact that they have more number of feet on the body as compared to the other groups. They are terrestrial. Body is divisible into head, trunk, and is elongated and worm-like. One or two pairs of appendages on each segment of trunk and also on the head. So one segment may have one pair of appendage or two pair of appendage. Excretion is through two pairs of Malpighian tubules associated with hindgut that we have seen in the uh, the salient features of the phylum Arthropoda. It has subclass Myriapoda, two subclass. One is called the Progonita. This is the animals which belong to Progonita. Here, the genital apertures are situated near the anterior end of the body. So this is one of the very peculiar feature. Two, so that is why they are called Progorita. Pro means anterior portion. 200 pairs of legs. This is the example of millipede, which is having 200 pairs of legs. That means 400 legs. So they are having the more number of legs. So each segment is having two pair of legs. Then the next is the class is subclass is Opisthogonata. Genital aperture are situated near the posterior end, so called the opistho. Uh, this is the example of the Scalopendra, which is having 22 segment. Each segment is having one pair of legs, so it means it is having total 44 legs. Example is centipede or called the Scalopendra. Then there is a third class, class Insectum. Insectum it is so called because if you look at the body of the insect, it looks at as the body is cut into many pieces. Head, thorax, and abdomen they are well marked by a sharp cut. Now, as Arthropoda is the largest phylum of the animal kingdom, and the Insecta is the largest class of phylum Arthropoda. They are mostly terrestrial, rarely aquatic. Body is divisible into head, thorax, and abdomen. One pair of appendage on each of the three segment of thorax only. You must remember the appendages are present on the thorax only. The legs are present only on the thorax region, not on the abdomen. Excretion is through two pairs of Malpighian tubules associated with the hindgut. Subclass of the insecta. You are having the two subclasses. Number one, Atericota. A means without, terra means wings. The insects which are not having the wings. You can see it is having a body. The legs are present on the thorax region only. Abdomen don't have any type of leg. These are just stylets present at the posterior end of the body. And then the antennae from the head region. They are the primitive wingless insect with little or no metamorphosis. Means the young one is born just like this, but it is small in size. It grows gradually and become the adult. Example are lepisma, springtail, snowflies, etc. Because they don't metamorphose. Metamorphosis means when the larva changes into adult. So because here the young one is as in features as good as the adult except in size. So there is no metamorphosis. So this subclass is also called as ametabola. Ametabola means where no metamorphosis takes place. And Aterygota, they don't have the wings on their body. Then Terygota. Tery means wings, so they are having the wings, but again they don't have the metamorphosis. So wings present with simple or complex metamorphosis. So if they are having the metamorphosis, it is very simple. Uh, Exoterygota are heterometabola. They are exoterygota, two divisions. Why? It is depending upon how the wings are formed. If the wings are formed externally, it is the exoterygota. These are the examples of exoterygota. Metamorphosis is simple, and the young stages are called nymphs. So, when the young ones are not exactly like that of the adult, they are called nymphs. And wings develop externally, so called exoterygota. Example are grasshopper, cricket, periplaneta, mantis, termites, white ants, book lice, bird lice, human lice, dragonfly, damselfly, etc. So they have very simple type of metamorphosis. One exception is there. I have wrongly written it a metabola. It is metabola. It is metabola where metamorphosis takes place, where young one coming out from the egg is not exactly like that of the adult. Then the second division is endoterygota or holometabola. Metamorphosis is complex and complete. That means uh, the young stages are called the larvae. They are called larvae once they have the marked difference in respect of their body shape with respect to the adult. No, again, I will just remind you, they were not having any sort of difference. So their young one was exactly like the adult, except in size. Here, the young one is slightly different, called the nymph. Here, the young one is totally different, called the larvae. And the wings develop uh, internally, sorry, it is not externally, so called the endoterygota. So butterflies, moths, beetles, beetles, wasps, bees, ants, mosquito, horseflies are the examples of division into endoterygota. Then you are having the class Arachnida. Arachnida means spider. Oid means like spider-like organisms are included in the Arachnida. They are mostly terrestrial and few aquatic. Body is divisible into cephalothorax or the prosoma, abdomen or opistosoma. So you have the synonyms. Uh, Cephalothorax may also be called prosoma and abdomen may be called opistosoma. Appendages are present in cephalothorax only, so abdomen don't have appendages. Excretion is through two pairs of Malpighian tubules, as it was in the insects, and examples are pelimus, mites, ticks, etc. Uh, in our local language, mites are called jivi, and ticks are called chichar. You must ask your parents that what is chichar, what is jivi. It is normally present on the sheep and the other animals. The jivi is normally present in the poultry. Then you are having the fifth class Onychophora. Onycho means claw, foreign means to bear. The animals have the claws on their appendages, so their name is. They are terrestrial. Body is divisible into head and trunk. So until you have having the head, there is no thorax, but trunk is there. Excretion is through two pairs of Malpighian tubules, as we have discussed earlier. No, the peripatus is the example, and the peripatus is supposed to be a link between annelid and arthropod because it is having some affinities with the annelids phylum that we have discussed earlier, and some affinities with the arthropod that we have discussed now. Now you can look at the body; its body is elongated. It is exactly like the annelid, and having the appendages is exactly like the parapodia of the nereis, but there are certain other features which, because these appendages are jointed, so they cannot be included in the annelids, they must be included in the arthropods. Thanks. This is all about the classifications of the phylum arthropod.